What's up, wonderful, amazing, sweet, and lovely people? How you all doing today? Hope you all having an amazing day today. Hope you're nothing but still your joy. Welcome to Maryamsjoyfullife. Today's a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys are so amazing. Thank you all so much for joining today. You guys are awesome and amazing. I started the video earlier. I didn't turn my light on, but it still looked bright. But I just wanted to turn my light on because that's the reason why I got the tripod that you guys are sitting on. Let me go shut the bathroom door, y'all. I'll shut the bathroom door. And then we can get started. Well, you guys can actually see my dress. I love my dress, y'all. I love my dress. All right, you guys. So super excited for these podcast episode. I'm so excited for this. And this is about how to stop wasting your time. I wanted to do a meet and greet because I'd never done a meet and greet except for many years ago after losing my first child. I did a meet and greet in Atlantic Station, Atlanta, and a few of you guys came. I met a few people, but since then I haven't done a meet and greet. So I'm thinking, okay, let's get into the groove of things so that I will have the opportunity to meet some of my subscribers, long-time followers who live around here, who can make it. I did, and I broadcast it on YouTube and also on Instagram, more or less on YouTube, you know, because you guys, I'm very busy with my YouTube. YouTube is where I really started and where I put a whole lot of my energy into. Anyways, I did, and then I was expecting people to show up, even if it was just one person that would show up. As a matter of fact, there's one of you guys who live not too far away from me in Georgia, and she said she was going to try to make it. I thought she would, but went over there, the kids and I, we went over there excited to meet people, to meet some of y'all, to give you all a hug, because doing these videos and talking to the camera, I know that there are people who have the intention or the excitement, who look forward to meeting those that they follow. So I just wanted to give that opportunity to have people meet me and come, for the purpose of this, so that we can talk and I can, in a physical atmosphere, be able to just encourage and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I was thinking that it was all going to work out, but it didn't work out. Nobody showed up. I was out there waiting, in the parking lot, looking around. I even filmed a little bit of it. And I think I'm going to post that video on another channel since you guys are going to be seeing this one. I waited for a while. Nobody showed up, which, I thought that I was going to be very disappointed and upset and angry, but I was not, because I'm just used to, I'm used to dealing with things not going the way that I want, but I don't give up. One thing I've learned from situations like this, where I plan something and then nobody shows up, it doesn't go as I plan. One thing I've noticed about it is it all works out in the end. It's all for the best. You know what I mean? Things will not always go your way. People will not always act the way you want them to. But it's if you're showing up on your part, you give your word and you show up. Because I showed up. I didn't cancel. I showed up early. I was there. I organized a few chairs waiting for people to come in, but nobody showed up. And I was like, you know what? I still look cute. I dressed nicely. I had one of the ladies at one of the librarians actually take a picture of me. Here's the picture. You guys will see it right there on the screen. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen it as well. And I did a reel where you saw my whole outfit. I felt good about myself. I was disappointed that nobody showed up, but the disappointment was not a heartbreaking disappointment where I felt like my life was over or the ground needed to open up so it could swallow me up. No. I think it has a lot to do with me dealing with a lot of difficult things in my life that I had to learn. Y'all, initially, I would feel like dying. I would feel like this whole thing is just going to be the end of me, break me and crush me. I would feel so bad. But then holding on to that feeling, I didn't like to hold on to it for so long, because holding on to hurts, holding on to pain and disappointment, it doesn't make you feel good. You know what I mean? It doesn't change your life. It actually brings a lot of pain and frustrations. So I didn't want to hold on to that. You know what I mean? I already experienced it in the past. I don't want to carry on this feeling. So that's why now when things happen like this that are discouraging and stuff, I just look at it and it's like, you know what? It's all working in my favor. I did what I could do. I showed up. Nobody showed up. Perhaps, do they not like me? Am I deceiving myself to think that I truly have support? But then I tell myself, you know what, I do have support. It's okay. Something could have happened that suddenly, although all of my subscribers are not like family members, that one thing would happen to one and then affects every other person. But, things happen. What am I going to do? Am I going to give up and quit? Or am I just going to try to switch things up, change what I need to change, get better and keep it going? So I chose to get better and keep it going. So with today's podcast, you guys, I wanted to encourage you guys today how to stop wasting your time. It seemed like me planning, because it was a process, planning this event and having people, creating room for people to show up. I followed up with it. I did all the planning, did the research, put in all the, the word, and filled out the forms that I needed to fill to get things going. I also let the word out to let people know that I'm hosting this. If you want to show up, you can show up. Now, nobody showing up, it doesn't mean that the event was a failure. It wasn't. I learned something from it. It is what it is. Move on. Sometimes, I realize that things are not always going to go my way. So what am I going to do at the times when things don't go my way? So long as I did my part, did the planning, showed up, put everything together, and then whatever was not dependent on me, if it doesn't work out, it fails, I'm not going to allow it break me or become the end of me where I give up on life and on everything else because one thing fails. Because I do believe, even from my experience, that when one door closes, God opens another. When something happens that seems to be like a disappointment or something that should just make you just want to be swallowed up by the ground. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this guy just opened. Look at all these women looking at me, hoping that my people will show up, and nobody showed up. And everybody was like, sorry, maybe they'll show up next time. Since you have this place reserved for another time. I was like, okay, thank you. But you know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is. So here is what you do, y'all. Today's episode, like I said, we're going to talk about how to stop wasting your time. Was my time wasted showing up and nobody showed up? Was all the effort I put into it wasted? I don't think it was. I learned something from it. If I show up and I do my part, that's all that matters. I can easily let things go. You know what I mean? I can only control what I can control. What I cannot control, I can't control. And I can't beat myself up about it. I got to let it go. Now, here is how you stop wasting your time. I have 3 things that you can do to stop wasting your time. If you have something you need to get started on, you have a business idea, you have people you're dealing with, you have whatever, and you feel like your time is wasted and you're not getting anything done, here's what to do. I have 3 things I've written down. Number 1, make a list of what needs to be done. Make a list of what needs to be done. Because every time you keep thinking about the plan, keep thinking about the plan, you're going to drive yourself crazy. When you put it on paper and you actually break it down into different categories and blah, 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 just make a list of it, you're able to transfer what's in your brain onto the paper, and then you're able to organize it. You see what I'm saying? Make a list. Make a list. When I was planning the meetup that nobody showed up for, I made a list of what I needed. I knew that I needed to talk to the authority, which is the state government that controls the library. I needed to let them know I wanted to use it, to do a meetup where I'll be able to encourage certain people and stuff. And then I needed to show them my nonprofit, because I run Dream B Corp. I still own the nonprofit. So let them know that I have this nonprofit as well. Because if you do, then you'll be able to use state properties. Anyways, I showed them that, and I was able to secure the place. That was the list. I waited for them to be able to clear me to use the place, but the thing is, I did my part, and I also followed up until everything was secured. So you make a list. If you don't make a list, you haven't started. Thinking about the plan, it will not take it anywhere. The plan is not gonna work if all you do all day long is think about it. You gotta write it down. Even research shows that if you write something down that you wanna do, you have a 90% chance of accomplishing it than if you think about it all the time. Thinking about it alone is not, you do have a 50% chance of making it happen, or maybe a little bit more if you think about it, but there is the percentage of it happening when you write it down is way higher, about 90 to 99% that it's gonna work out. Close to 100% that you're gonna go through with it. And I've also noticed that with my daily goals, whenever I write a list of things down that I need to do during the day, I do them. But when I don't write it down and I think about it, I don't really do it, or I waste time and I do it later than I should have. So anyways, number 1, you make a list of what needs to be done. Number 2, what do you need to do? Don't be intimidated by all the things that has to be done. Do not be intimidated by all of the things that need to be done. You know what I mean? Don't think about everything at once. Think about one thing. What is the most important thing that you can do right now? Because every task that you have, there's important task. There's another one that is next in line in importance. There's another one. You know what I mean? There's like that according to what they call it, importance and in terms of the time frame, what needs to get done, because you just got to make it sequential. You know what I mean? You got to make it sequential. In my case, I know I wanted to meet up, and I was thinking, do I need to go rent a place, or could I use my influence to get a place secured? You see what I'm saying? Now, worrying about if people were going to come or not show up was not the most important thing. The most important thing was securing a venue. After securing the venue, now what do? I need to start advertising and let people know that, okay, I have this coming up. You see what I'm saying? And start using what I had to do it. But I couldn't tell people about it if I hadn't secured the place that they would be, hoping that they showed up. In my case, they didn't. But you have to take care of what needs to be taken care of first. If you don't take care of the first things, you can't take care of the last. You gotta write it down and get started on the most important one. And that way you just keep checking off your list until you get to the last thing on the list. Now, and plus, if you keep worrying about it, thinking about how it's going to work out, who's going to show up, and you worry about things that really don't matter right now, you will not get anything done. I promise you won't get anything done. So I try not to worry too much about things that I cannot control. You know, the best way to actually handle any pressure in your life is you just got to make sure you write down exactly what needs to be done according to their importance and start tackling each task. And as you tackle it, you check it off your list. That way, it keeps your mind in order. But if you don't, if your mind is in disarray and it's not in order, you're going to waste your time on things that don't matter, and nothing gets done. But you want to get things done, so stop wasting your time. Make a list. Don't be intimidated by how much needs to get done. Just get started on the first thing. The last thing I wrote right here is get started on the most important one. That's it. Say it's the same thing. All of these points, they kind of like, they feed off of each other, right? The first one is you make a list. The second one is don't be intimidated by the list, by how much you need to get done. The third, get started on the first thing on your list. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's what this video is about, y'all. Telling you guys how to get started on whatever you need to get done, how to stop wasting your time. If you know what it is that you need to do and you have a list, and then you give it a time frame, how long it'll take you, and you start going after it one at a time, what happens is you get things done. You don't waste your time. You're already scheduled. You schedule it, right? When you schedule what needs to be done, and you know that, okay, at this time I'm going to be doing this. When something comes up that is not in your list, that is not important, not an emergency, that you need to take somebody to the hospital for, you know what I mean, something that can wait, you actually tell them, I'm busy right now, let me focus on this task I have at hand, and then we can do this later. You see what I'm saying? But if you don't schedule it, you waste your time. You scatter your energies and your forces, and then you know what happens if you do that? Frustration. You get frustrated with yourself, and guess what else? You get frustrated with everybody else. But you don't want to do that. I hope you don't want to do that. Because whenever I have allowed the time be wasted focusing on unnecessary things instead of focusing on what mattered, guess what? I'd be frustrated and frustrated at everybody and everything. And I don't like feeling frustrated at everybody and everything, especially if it is something that is in my control that I could handle. Now, there have been times when I've allowed things to slip, a little bit, but I don't allow it to get to sleep for too long where I start playing catch up. Playing catch up can be very frustrating too, because there's like 1 million things for you to do at once, but you can only do one thing at one time, one at a time. That's truly, we can only do one thing at a time. We can't multitask, because multitasking is leaving this stuff halfway done, jumping on something else to get it done halfway, just jumping from one task to the other. It's not actually doing two things at one time. You see what I'm saying? It's not. There's really nothing as like multitasking. Anyway, we can be aware of a lot of things going on around us, but to do something, we can only do one thing at a time. So I think, and I believe the best way for us to handle things is to actually schedule it. Write down a list of what we want to get done. Know what it is that's the most important on the list and get started on it. You know what I mean? And when you get started on it, and you do your best, you'd feel good that actually I showed up, I did my best, even if it didn't turn out the way that I wanted to, because certain things didn't happen or didn't work out the way that I was expecting, but I still showed up. You'd feel happier, you feel more confident in yourself, and although you showed up, it didn't work out the way you wanted, but at least you showed up. Like me, that's how I feel, y'all. If I showed up for something, I give my best to it, even if it doesn't turn out like I'm expecting, I'm still gonna be proud of myself, because I know that it didn't fail because I didn't show up. It failed because it failed. Maybe it was meant to fail so that something better can come out of it. Because I know no effort, no energy you place into something that didn't work out is wasted. You're always going to get something out of it. Hear me? So that's the video for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. Yeah, I just wanted to do something different and give you guys like practical steps that you can use, not just pray and do healing on you. Because I realized that no matter how much healing and prayer I do, I pray for you guys and for certain people, if I don't tell you steps, if I don't encourage you and show you steps that I do, because it's not the angels that step in and help me organize my day and use my hands and try to get things done. No, I still need to get up and get things done. The Bible says faith without works is useless. And I'd be useless if I didn't tell you there was a part for you to play, which is you use your sense. You know what I mean? Let's get practical about this. You know. So yeah, whatever it is that you have to do, no matter how difficult the task is, just get started on it. Get started on the first thing. Write down a list. Quit thinking too much about it. You're gonna drive yourself crazy. And I promise you, when you do, you notice that things become easier. You get used to scheduling things, like while writing your list, you notice that you're organized more and you get things done more at the right time. All right, so thank you all for watching today. You guys are awesome and amazing. Appreciate every one of you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you thumbs up, you subscribe, you come back for more. The dress I'm wearing is from ASOS, from their tall line, because I'm a tall woman. A lot of you guys think I'm short. I'm not short. I'm over 6 foot tall. So from their tall line, and I'm wearing this beautiful dress. I actually love the sleeve. It's wonderful. If you guys want to find out more about this, I'm going to tag it in my Instagram page so you guys can check it out. All right. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Different ways to support are in the description box below. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, wonderful, amazing, sweet, and lovely people. Bye.